Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Today's Tuesday, and usually it is our recipe episode. But today we will talk about ingredients or whole foods for our recipe for a little bit. So you have something to think about, to consider before eating next time. But before that, I want to give you an update. So I tried the Flex crackers, the recipe that we talked about last Tuesday, a few more times. And so the winner was the next recipe. You take equal parts of flaxseed and water. You put your flaxseeds in that water, or you pour your water into flaxseeds. You mix it well, maybe add some salt and spices to make your flackers or flaxseed crackers taste the way you like them. So you put all of that overnight in the fridge for probably the best timing is somewhere around 16 hours. And then you take it out from the fridge next day and you mix it well again. And then you put that mixture on a sheet of silicone sheet for dehydration or for baking. You put it in the oven at 200 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius, somewhere around it. You put it for somewhere around 3 hours, and that's gonna give you the flackers around inch thick. So you put that in the oven, and in 3 hours, you're gonna have your perfect flaxseed crackers that don't stick to anything, as it happened to me when I used parchment paper. So if you want more details about my perfect flaxseed crackers recipe, then shoot me an email or find me on any social media, and I'll share with you my best advice on making your perfect flaxseed cracker. One of the best crunchy snacks that you can make at home, the easiest, the cheapest, the most delicious, and the healthiest because of all the fiber and all the healthy fats in whole flax seeds. So that's it for flax seeds, and now we will talk about whole foods. So something to think about, guys. Consider an apple. An apple is million years of evolution. It is evolved with the planet. It is evolved with the human beings. Apple or whole foods, your meats, your vegetables, all and everything you can find in nature in whole state, whatever you can, find at the store in its whole state and cook. All of that is evolved through millions of years of evolution, and is designed for our body that is also evolved through millions of evolution along with those whole foods. So consider this. Consider the next thing. When you eat some processed foods, like let's say some crackers made of God knows what, or some cookies, or some weird concoction that is called snack, or ready-to-eat meal with perfect macros, or whatever it is that was made in a lab and that was highly processed and changed from the whole foods it's derived from. That is at maximum a month of product and market research and no health research. When companies create products, they are not concerned with your health. There is not even technology available to evaluate long-term impacts of certain products for our health. And the results, guys, the results of eating more and more processed foods, we can see already. Obesity epidemic is growing. Children's obesity, diabetes, degenerative diseases, heart health, it's on the rise. It's still rising. And it seems the more processed food we get, the more processed food we eat, no matter how well it's processed or what kind of superfood ingredients it has, the more food the processed, the more it is an experiment that is done on you with your willful participation. So that is an experiment that you guys run on yourself at your own risk. Consider another story. a couple of days ago, I contacted on Twitter the team of Impossible Foods that make Impossible Burger, or the cutting edge in tech and food industry meat substitute made of, guess what, soy and sunflower oil. When I asked them, how did they come up with such an ingenious recipe for their superfood, better than meat? How did they come up with that soy and sunflower recipe? And they told me that their consideration, their first priority is to flavor and to sustainability for the planet. And they told me also something about less saturated fat in sunflower oil compared to coconut oil that they used before. And that kind of science, it's like last century. It's proven that vegetable oils are bad for our health, and that saturated fat in coconut oil has nothing to do with heart health. So why they even mentioned it, I have no idea. It just shows me how little consideration went into healthiness of that Impossible Burger that is supposed to improve our, future without healthy humans, probably, because I do not get it. I would not want some soy and sunflower oil instead of my meats, no matter how good they taste. I don't even eat that much meat at all. Like once in a blue moon, I eat a lot of fish, but not meat. And anyway, so the highest tech food company that wants to substitute all the meat we're eating with that soy sunflower oil concoction, even they are not concerned about long-term health of humans, because, well, there is no way to really evaluate how that food influences us. So it's all an experiment. Even they are not concerned with our health. So if we talk about something like Oreo cookies, or, Milka chocolate, one of the chocolates that I might poison myself with from time to time. Rarely, but sometimes happens. Anyway, even when that kind of high-tech companies are not concerned with our health, you might think about what's happening with other products, much, much less concerned with anything at all, with quality, but just concerned with profits and sales. And just think about it when next time you put on your food some processed food. And processed foods, guys, the more foods is changed from its original state, as you can find it in nature, the more experimental that food is for you. So of course you can choose whatever you want and you can run that experiment, but understand that if you want to be the healthiest, the fittest, the leanest, the best performing mentally and physically if you want to live long without much health consequences or health considerations, if you don't have a lot of energy, you'll have much better chances eating whole foods. And the most important takeaway from today, guys, hear me out. Snacks are for some times. Whole foods are for all the times. So snacks are for some times. Whole foods are for all the times. Don't be a part of this experiment that probably is not going to end up really well if you switch to mostly processed foods. And again, processed foods it's a huge category. Processed foods is anything that is actually changed from its original state. Even cooking is a form of processing. But if most of your food comes from whole foods and it's cooked by you personally or by someone who you trust, either that meal delivery company or some food place where you know that they cook food from good quality ingredients. So most of your food should be whole foods. And then sometimes you can feel free to experiment with those snacky foods, processed foods, convenient foods, highly processed foods, even if the ingredients are whole foods and they're meant to improve your health and well-being. If that food is highly processed, it's still not your best choice. Don't be that experiment that you don't know where it's going to end up. And again, from all the evidence, from all the obesity rates, from diabetes, again, from all kinds of degenerative diseases, cancers and Alzheimer's and dementia, and so many other things that are on the rise, But this experiment is not running that well. So make conclusions, make better choices, food choices with self-awareness and respect for your body and your biology. That is this genius product of millions of evolution. Choose your food accordingly. Snacks are for some times. Whole foods are for all the times. So let me know what you think about this, guys, what it made you think about. And just next time you eat and every time you eat, make a conscious choice. And of course, a lot of these choices will run on autopilot after a while. But again, think about what you put on your plate and in your body, because that is what you make yourself out of. And everything in your life depends on the quality of that fuel, on the quality of those source ingredients that you put on your plate. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Next Tuesday, we're going to have some awesome recipe. We'll see what it's going to be, but it's going to be something awesome for sure. Tomorrow, Wednesday, stay tuned for our book study. It's going to be Intermittent Fasting book study from John Berardi, the founder of Precision Nutrition, one of the best platform for nutrition and lifestyle coaches. So he wrote a book on intermittent fasting based on his own biohacking experiment long before intermittent fasting became that popular among so many people. So that's going to be tomorrow. On Thursday, we're going to be talking about ice cream, short episode with the founder of Night Food ice cream that is good for your sleep and much better than other ice creams you might be eating sometimes. So, and on Friday, fat loss episode. So stay tuned, guys. It's going to be awesome. And as usual, today and every day, every meal, eat better daily.